Hi guys, welcome to the Rule of Two, where the Star Wars saga continues. I'm Manny, aka Darth Carne.
I'm Darth Maury, shutting down all the parentages going on right now in Star Wars.
Alright, so today we have some Star Wars news, and we also have a few theories that we wanted to touch on. We didn't get a chance to touch on this particular theory that T's actually done some research on. So we're gonna hit that one, and we also have some some shocking news for me. I can't believe this one, but all coming up right now. So let's get started. All right. First of all, Star Wars is still going strong, dying down just a tad, but it did open internationally in China. Unfortunately, the China community really wasn't as open to it as I thought it would be, as we thought that it would be.
That's crazy. With all the stuff that the China market has been into, everything sci-fi, action-based, you felt like Star Wars was just going to be like a home run to make, 100 million, 200 million in China. So disappointing. Absolutely.
It opened really, I think, at about 51 million, barely hit the 50 million mark. Now, it did open on Saturday, so it had the Saturday, Sunday, did not open on Friday. So hopefully next week it'll actually do something just to add to that total. Currently, right now, it is ~1 domestically. It did beat Avatar. It is at 812 million right now domestically, being the highest grossing box office in domestically. Yeah. So it's already broken that record, and Avatar is now a distant second. Now it barely passed Jurassic World. It's at number 3 with 1.7 billion. The way China is trending, the way it looks, is that it will not. I don't think it'll catch Titanic.
It looks really bleak for them to actually try to get all the records for the box office. My whole thing is that China cares more about dinosaurs. They care more about Fast and Furious than they actually cared about Star. That's amazing to me that they would care that much.
I can't believe it.
This does not make sense. But China, hey, maybe it's one of those things where it's a slow burn and it'll be consistent every week, and then it'll pull the marathon.
Slowly total up and possibly at least catch Titanic. Hopefully,
I cannot believe this. But hey, if it doesn't catch Avatar, hey, they still own domestic box office records. So that's one thing, a feather in the cap for Star Wars. And it's a little disappointing, but hey, I mean, worst thing that happened. They only made 1.7 billion so far.
That's petty cash. So now it is Oscar season, and I'm just curious. I wanted to ask you: do you think that this movie is an Oscar-nominated Best Picture?
Okay. So with that being said, I think it will be nominated. Because
but for visuals, right? Not for
no, they're gonna nominate it for Best Picture. They pushed back the date for submissions for it, so that way they can get this movie in. They extended their deadline to get this movie in, because Disney wasn't going to change it. They were like, we're not changing our release date to make the window for the Oscars. So the Oscars said, okay, we'll push it back, so that way when the movie can come out and we can review it and decide if it's going to be nominated. Now, because of that, they can't say, okay, we waited all this extra time and did not nominate it. Then that just kind of seems like pointless. They even pushed this date back, and they did it for Star Wars and nobody else. So it's going to be nominated. Will it win? It's not gonna win. It's not gonna win for Best Picture. I mean, we all have flaws with the movie, and it was like you can't win for Best Picture, and everybody else has flaws with the movie. But it'll win for visuals because the movie was beautiful. So it'll win for other things, technical aspects of it, but it won't win for Best Picture. But it's gonna be nominated. So let me get that out the way. You're gonna see a nomination for it.
So the filming for Episode 8 does start now. Episode 8 is gonna show up in theaters May of 2017. And I'm looking forward to it. From what everybody says, the screenplay is absolutely excellent. Now Rian Johnson is writing it. He actually did Looper, And so we're looking to see a much darker tone into episode 8.
Yeah, this is our Empire Strikes Back for this new trilogy.
Yeah, John Boyega actually is on record of saying that it is much darker in tone. What exactly is it that you want to see in episode 8?
I think we talked about it before in one of our Goods podcast. I think what I want to see is we definitely want to see the training between Rey and Ren and Kylo Ren, because that was the big thing that was in Empire Strikes Back. We got to see more training with Luke. We got to see the whole Yoda thing. So we definitely want to see how Luke's going to train Rey. We want to see how Snoke is actually going to train Kylo Ren. We want to see the dark side train. We've never actually seen it
at all.
We've never seen it. So I definitely want to see. I want to see that more than I want to see Rey being trained. I want to see how the Sith get trained. Or I know they're not technically a Sith at this point, but I want to see how they get trained for the dark side. What's these paths that they have to go through? You know, are they just cutting up bunnies or something like that? You know, you're not. Wait, how's the Palpatine? Do it again. You're not dark enough. Do it. You're not dark enough. So I actually want to see that. I want to see more Finn. I want to see more Poe. I want to see how their characters evolve. I want Rey and Kylo to be side characters. I want them to be pushed off to the side like Luke was in Empire. And I want to see, behind as underused as she was, I want to see more Captain Phasma. I want to see Captain Phasma really trying to go after Rey for leaving them. You know, obviously.
After Finn?
I'm sorry, I said Rey, right? After Finn.
Yeah.
Go after Finn, because I think in the novelization of the movie, they talked about, you know, how he was actually supposed to be like it was somebody she was grooming. In the novelization, and that's why his importance for it. Even they had him on sanitation, so I don't understand how you groom somebody on sanitation.
Maybe that's probably why he knows the Starkiller base.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things, or like, so that's one of the things they didn't show in the movie. So he was supposed to have been groomed, so that's kind of why they really consider him as a traitor, because he was kind of held in high regard. So it's more of a slap in the face for Captain Phasma. So I want to see her actually her role and character be extended, and how she has to do something. So like I said, her character design was more bounty hunter, so you know, hell, go after somebody as a bounty hunter and try to track it down, take control of the stormtroopers.
I thought that your suggestion on the TR-8TR,
the traitor
stormtrooper.
Yeah, no, I looked it up. He's actually traitor.
The traitor, because he says traitor.
Yeah.
So that actually should have been Captain Phasma, and the fight should have been. That would have been awesome.
That would have made her character so much better. That would have been awesome. We didn't need a random stormtrooper, and take it back, for the people who've actually read like the more backstory they've actually put out there about it, they do discuss a little bit further why that stormtrooper referred to him as traitor, and why he took it so personal is because they were rivals. Him and Finn as stormtroopers were rivals. Finn bested him after he had already gone through he fought like a whole bunch of other stormtroopers, and he got to Finn, and Finn just took him out like really quick. So they already had a rivalry. So when Finn left, he took it personally. So that's what their whole thing was with the whole traitor thing. It didn't get shown in the movie, so the whole traitor thing kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But if you guys read the novels and stuff like that, or like I said, even the novelization for The Force Awakens, you'll get more of that backstory. You'll be able to find out more stuff about that. I think the runtime should have been longer in the movie to kind of give us that filler. But with that being said, they could have disregarded all of that and just made it Captain Phasma, and we'd have been fine with it. We wouldn't be complaining about how she was underused.
Now, episode 8 is going to obviously fill in a lot of plot holes and answer some questions that a lot of viewers, members of the audience just did not, they didn't get. You didn't understand that it's still, part 1 of a trilogy, but, we're going to get some answers. One of the answers is, who is Rey?
We're back to who's Rey.
Okay. One of the questions, the biggest questions is, who is Rey?
By the way, watch my video about who I think Rey is.
And for those that have seen it, all 1,500 people that have seen it, thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, and we appreciate the views.
Your comments, we appreciate all of that. So thank you so much for that. Now, your theory, and this theory is actually out there, but I've never heard your comment on it, is that Rey is actually part of the Kenobi lineage. So tell me about that. Tell me your theory on that.
All right. So once again, this is where Darth Maury comes in, where he says, "You are not the father." And I kind of shut all that stuff down. And like I said, I'm not I'm not poo-pooing on different people's theories. I just like to kind of analytically look at their theories and say that how it could fit and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. So the Kenobi one. All right, so what we know from the actual canon from Star Wars is that Obi-Wan went to Tatooine to watch over Luke. So he was there for 30 years.
She's about 1920, maybe?
Okay. All right. So he goes, finds Luke, or when Luke finds him, he says, all right, let's go take on the Empire. So at this time, we got to assume that there is a wife or some woman that he's knocked up, left over to the side, you know, because obviously Jedis are horrible or horrible on making commitments with people that they knock up in these movies, because we're saying that, you know, she could be a Solo that got stranded. She could be a Skywalker that got stranded. Now we're saying she could be a Kenobi, where obviously he left his wife to go run off with Luke to go take on the Empire, as well as his daughter that he left. So like I said, we think about that. We don't know who the mother is, and obviously the mother's from Tatooine, because he would have to admit her, because he stayed there for 30 years. That's part of canon. He was there on the planet for 30 years.
Okay.
So she's from Tatooine. We don't know who she is. We didn't touch on that. So now we have to explain who she is. Then we have to explain why they had a child that he doesn't speak of, and he leaves as well. He leaves the mom, he leaves the child to go run off with Luke. So I mean, it's a lot of backstory to say, like. And I know I throw out the hashtag deadbeat Jedi, but damn, that's a deadbeat Jedi right there. It's like, woman, I'm gonna leave you. Child, I'm gonna leave you. You know, he chung deuces and left, and you know, that's. I would like to think that we hold Obi-Wan in such high regard that we wouldn't do that to his character, right, and say that something like that. Now, it could be something, but to do something, to explain something like why she is a granddaughter of Kenobi, we need another movie to explain that. They would have to do prequels. We'd have to get Ewan McGregor to come out there, do the 30 years on it, show him meet a wife, show him have a kid, show them leave, or show her die, show him drop off. It's too much, and that's the reason why that can't work.
So you know, you have Kenobi and his daughter is Mara Jade. Mara Jade is with Luke. They have Rey, so she's got both Skywalker and Kenobi bloodline. What do you think about that?
Okay, so we're saying that, okay,
she is Luke's daughter, but she's also a descendant of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, that's interesting. So now we're saying that Luke's robbing the cradle. I mean, that's what we were saying. It was like, okay, Obi-Wan has a kid who's now within the 30 years that he's on the planet. So I guess he would have had to had a kid before when? Because
I have no idea. That's why I'm just throwing
no, I'm just saying. I was like, okay, I'm trying to do the math, guys. I'm sorry, I'm seriously trying to do the math. Okay, so he gets there. So the minute he gets there to watch over Luke, he knocks up some woman while he's there. So she's little. She's a little bit younger than Luke.
He pulls a Jerry Lee Lewis.
You know, he stays off in the distance, and somehow he's like, hey, you know.
I like those roller skates. They look good on you.
So go talk to the little kid called Luke Skywalker. He's a nice guy. Go talk to him. And so Luke then knocks her up on Tatooine, or he comes back for her.
Okay. Now,
okay, so it's no.
So you don't think she's a Kenobi?
I don't think she's a Kenobi. And like I said, if she is a Kenobi, then they got to do another movie outside of the trilogy to explain why she's a Kenobi.
Okay, now another one it's a possibility. I don't know. I mean, I would never shoot anything down, because you know, hey, these are pretty interesting theories.
You are not the father.
Is that she is actually a descendant of Palpatine? Okay, and she does have Darth Plagueis' staff. What do you think about that?
Okay, so
she won't let that thing go.
That's a great thing, and I like the whole thing that she has a staff and the whole Darth Plagueis thought. Yeah, I like that. But with that being said, now I would like to say that Disney is on the forefront of making history in movies. But the only partner that I've ever seen Palpatine with in any of the canon movies is Vader.
And Jar Jar.
So, if Palpatine had a relationship with anybody, it was not hetero. It was not a heterosexual relationship.
But he could be a pimp. He could be an emperor. Send me 3. Whatever. Send me 3 winches.
So so that's how we're gonna have this.
Do it.
That's how we're gonna have.
Introduce you to my dark thing.
Oh man. Does he tell her the story about Darth Plagueis the Wise? He can even bring things back from the dead.
Yeah.
But no,
midichlorian pills.
So that's what we're gonna say is that so we either make history with Disney that he either is a womanizer. He's a womanizer who had just it's the dark side. He's a womanizer that just had like random children with somebody, and that's how Will Ray came from. But then who knows about it for some random chick? She's an Empire groupie.
There you go. Empire. She was born out from Empire groupies.
And this is ridiculous. We're gonna go with Empire groupie.
All right. Benicio del Toro is cast as one of the main villains in episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm curious to this. Now everybody, another one that everybody's talking about is Snoke. Who is Snoke?
Okay.
So, what if Snoke is actually General Snoke? He's a brand new character.
Okay.
And it's Benicio del Toro that is Plagueis. What do you think about that?
Okay, so we're gonna say 2 separate characters.
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro is Plagueis because he's gonna be in episode 8, right?
Yes.
So then why do Snoke then?
Well, Snoke works for.
So.
I mean,
I'm the big bad, but then there's another big bad,
supreme leader, and the rule of 2. Hey.
Well, no, we got Kylo.
Well, that's.
So now you broke the rule of 2 because
3-way
because it's hey, this is the First Order. It's a new regime right now, man. They changed the stuff up. It's not the same anymore. But so the rule of 2 was already broken because we have Snoke and we have Ren. That's your rule of 2, and we're talking about the old ways of thinking with the Sith. Even though they're not Sith, we're still thinking about that. That's your rule of 2, and it would really dismiss Snoke to say Plagueis is out there. Plagueis is there. Now, I'm okay with saying that Snoke is a new character and say that Plagueis was canon and he existed and he no longer exists.
But Plagueis actually is, he's been around from what I understand. He's been around through he has knowledge of everything that's gone on, and so does Snoke.
Right.
So who's to say that that Benicio del Toro isn't playing Plagueis? You know what? He was never really a fan of the rule of 2, so maybe that's why there is a third option, and that's why he didn't want to be portrayed, or he didn't want that to continue where the apprentice is always going to be betraying the master. So that is why there's 3 instead of 2. What do you think?
Okay, so I do watch other Star Wars shows and stuff like that. So I will say one thing I did hear was that. It makes sense, and I'm kind of the same thinking is that if Snoke is just an original character and he's not Plagueis, then it really kind of downs him, because it says like, oh, I've been around this long and I just sat back while Palpatine was I didn't want to challenge Palpatine and take his rule from him because he was either more powerful than me, or what if Palpatine had succeeded? Then this dude would never have come to power. So it's like I didn't feel enough to challenge him. So now you're a lesser character than Palpatine was, and you're not as powerful as Palpatine was. Ren's not as powerful as Vader. They really come off looking like weak. And I think that's the reason why they have to give Snoke something. Yeah. They have to say that this is the reason why he didn't challenge, because he's been around this time. This is the reason why he didn't challenge Palpatine. And like I said, the Plagueis one makes the most sense because it's like, I didn't challenge Palpatine because Palpatine damn near killed me.
Right. Do you think he's an Inquisitor?
That's even worse than being a new character because the Inquisitors aren't as strong as the Sith. I mean, they're strong and then like they have a power. They had their point. They had their place in the Star Wars canon, but they're not Sith.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that people are curious about is the route that it's going to go. Now, obviously, it's going to be a darker tone in Episode 8, but there could be some switcheroos there, some things that are going to be like catch you off guard. You're not even gonna see it coming. One of the things that I found interesting that I saw online was that it is actually Kylo Ren. One, that he's a double agent. Two,
after he killed his dad.
Yeah, and he didn't want to do it.
That's some deep cover right there. Deep cover.
Undercover. But yeah, so he's actually, they have a pretty cool picture of him with his sword and the crossguards, everything is green. And it is Rey that turns to the dark side because Luke is actually Dark Luke and he is controlling Snoke.
All right, so that's.
What do you think about that? I think that would catch me off guard. I would never expect that. If that happens,
that's some M. Night Shyamalan twist type stuff right there. Where like
that would be kind of cool to have Dark Luke. You know,
I would like to have. Okay, so here's the deal.
And what if he's looking at that on the cliff? He's looking at her like, man, what is that thing doing here? You know, he gives her that look. That's why he looks at her like that.
No, that was the damn. I owe a lot of child support that you hear right now, man. It's like 18 years, man. What's Jedi jail look like? But okay. So with that being said, I mean, it's cool. I would like the whole Dark Luke thing because that was a big thing that was in the Legends series. Now it's not canon anymore with Dark Luke when he had made his.
But they are taking pieces from that.
They're taking
Disney,
like they can.
Disney would be real stupid not to borrow from those things.
No,
okay?
and they obviously they borrowed Ben Solo and Ben Skywalker, but they borrowed the Ben part. Right. They borrowed the child of Han and Luke. Han and Leia. We're making first here in Disney, you know, first homosexual couple.
Well, right now they're thinking Finn and Poe is gay.
Oh man, okay, Finn and Poe's not gay. Come on, okay. Because there's even rumors right now that Finn's gonna get a love interest in Episode 8 right now. So
you think it's gonna be a love triangle, or Poe's gonna be mad that Finn's liking, you know?
Actually, from what's being said out there in the rumor ether, is that we're gonna get more of a like I said, they're following kind of old ground and stuff like that. I think we're gonna get a Rey and Poe scenario as a couple, as a love interest. But they've
never had any kind of interaction. It really does point to Finn and Rey.
All right, but think about in Episode 1, how close were Han and Leia? I mean,
she said episode what?
Episode 4. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My bad. I'm all over the place. Think about in Episode 4, how close Han and Leia were. They really didn't start getting close until Episode 5.
But but Rey and Poe have not had any interaction, hardly at all.
Well, she ain't really come across on screen, but so maybe in Episode 8, you know, hey. It's one of those things where, like, you know, thanks, Finn, for hanging out with me, and she friend zones him and says, you know, it was cool that, you know, you got paralyzed trying to save me and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so, back to the switcheroo.
All right. So back to the M. Night Shyamalan switcheroo and Star Wars.
M. Night Shyamalan.
All right. So
the Village.
I think the Dark Jedi thing would be really, really great. I just think that if they were gonna go Dark Jedi, I think they would have done it. They wouldn't have gone the way that they're already gone in The Force Awakens. I think we're set up to get Luke as a Jedi Master, Luke training Jedi and stuff like that. And if he was going to make a dark turn, I think they would set it up to where he was the big bad to begin with, or he was a Snoke character, and he had trained Kylo Ren to be dark, and exactly somebody else would be the light side of the Force. And right now he and Rey are basically the light side of the Force. So,
you know, sources do say that it's darker, so right. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Now, one of the things I saw was that Luke is Snoke, and he's got like the Wizard of Oz type of thing where he's behind the curtain. And because you got to remember, Snoke is a freaking hologram. He's not even there.
Well, right now he's a hologram.
Now, is he a hologram or is he a Force ghost?
No,
he's Vader.
No! Vader's dead. Whoever started this rumor about Vader being Snoke, Vader's dead. We saw...
What? But he's got the same scar. See? You know what?
Okay, he has similar scars. I will give you that. And that's the only thing that's carrying this whole fan theory, is that he has similar scars. Well, Vader died, but Vader burned. Kylo Ren has Vader's skull and his ashes.
Not anymore. It blew up on a Starkiller base.
Okay, Vader blew up on Starkiller base. Vader is dead. Vader is dead. Okay, the Force Ghost thing with the whole Anakin hybrid Vader thing.
That looked cool, actually.
That it did look cool, and I would buy that more than I would buy that Snoke is Vader. But with that being said, well, we were talking about
switcheroos.
No, we were talking about such about being Snoke. Luke being.
Oh yeah, Luke being like behind Snoke. Like he's actually.
So he's playing both sides.
No, he's.
So it's like he's gonna be on the light side and the dark side.
He's an no. He's Snoke. He's like I said, he's like in the Wizard of Oz, where.
Then why go into hiding?
Because he's in he's in isolation. He's away from everything and everybody, and it's easier for him to control the First Order from there, like that.
Okay, so
where's my ideas and theories?
All right. But no, it's fine. It's so they've done holograms before. Leia was a hologram, and Palpatine was a hologram when we first met Palpatine. Hell,
Darth Maul's entrance was awesome as hologram.
Darth Maul was a hologram.
That was cool.
So it's one of those things where like the hologram thing, that's just a Star Wars thing. So I don't think it's a Wizard of Oz type issue. Nobody's gonna be passing out like, oh, you wanted a lightsaber. Here's your symbolic lightsaber. We're gonna put on you type deal. They're not gonna do that. But no, I don't buy the Luke thing at all.
Well, whatever the case may be, freaking Episode 8 is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see it, and we're probably gonna be talking about a lot more of this than the end of it. If there's any theories that you guys got and you want to talk about it, please let us know. We're dying to hear your theories, because I've heard some crazy ones out there.
I love these theories, and I love talking about these theories. And I'm not trying to just say like, oh, mine's the only smart one. I'm just saying is like, when I hear the theories, when they get too complicated, you have to think that, how are they gonna write this in a movie?
Now, one of the biggest thing that biggest spoilers. I'm sorry, please. I don't hate me on this one. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it. So
all 44 of you guys.
Yeah. Han Solo. Unfortunately, he passed through in The Force Awakens. He passed, and
okay.
Rest in peace. Han shot first at the hand of his son. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not he comes back as a ghost, I don't know. But Harrison Ford has signed on again to be in Episode 8. Now, he is not Force sensitive. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even believe that much into the Force. So I really believe I really believe it's a flashback scene. I think it's going to be flashback.
Force flashback.
It's going to be flashback. Kylo Ren's flashback as he's being conflicted between the light and the dark, and okay. I think that Han Solo is going to be part of that that conflict, and so that's probably how they'll put Harrison Ford back in. What do you think on that?
No, I believe that too. I was like, if we see Han, obviously, like you said, he's not Force sensitive, so he can't be a Force ghost. As many people have been talking about, they're like, oh, they make Han a Force ghost. If they make Han a Force ghost, they make everybody a Force ghost at that point. And it's like they can do the little kids that Anakin killed. They can be Force ghosts too.
That would be hilarious.
That was actually in the hizzy, but if that's being said, he's not Force sensitive, so it would have to be a flashback if we see him in what's her name from Disney that's now running Lucasfilm.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy even said that everybody was gonna return for Episode 8. So we all already kind of knew that that Harrison Ford was gonna return, but now we opened the door for flashbacks. Now that we've seen Force flashbacks, so are we gonna see like a legit oh, I'm sitting back thinking in flashback, or I think it would be probably more of a Force flashback where he touches something of Han's. And he gets that hit from there, like, oh, I remember something in my childhood as him being a father, type deal. I mean, he could touch the Millennium Falcon. I mean, because that's iconically is Han. So
now when some things that kind of bothered me, and I saw this online, and it was like, man, that's so true. Why doesn't Leia hug Chewie or something? She goes straight for Rey. Han just died. That's been his. I'm
gonna say that they are racist against Wookiees. I'm gonna say, all right. So if you think back to Episode 4, all right,
that's your answer.
Chewie was a part of that. He didn't get a damn medal.
He didn't get a medal. How the hell does that work?
He didn't get a medal. He was there. Luke got one. Han got one.
Maybe they gave him Maz Kanata. That's what she said. That's his.
No,
there's your reward.
But no, poor Chewie didn't get a medal, and he did a lot of stuff in the movie. So like,
but you know, she didn't even acknowledge. She didn't
acknowledge him in episode 4.
But I mean, he's. You know, he's been around the whole time. But anyway, so another thing is that when he's
hashtag racist against Wookiees.
So he's there, and now freaking Chewbacca like really impressed me as far as his shot. He is like such a damn good shot. One shot, one kill on every single freaking stormtrooper after Han died.
That's true.
So he had that freaking shot on Kylo. Do you think that because
he missed on purpose?
Yeah.
No, I think it was an emotion in it, and like he just shot really fast, and he still hit him.
Okay, so
it wasn't a stormtrooper moment. He was like, he still hit him.
I was shown a picture that had him bouncing Ben Solo on his knee when he was a little kid, and then he goes through right, and then boom, he's right there, and he's got the scope on his head after and then he kills him, and then he thinks about it and he shoots him on the side instead because of the emotion. That's kind of sad in a way if you really think about it. But
no,
it still sucks that Leia didn't even acknowledge. Oh, Chewie, are you okay? I'm so sorry. Instead, she goes to somebody she doesn't even know. Or does she know?
Does she? No, I just think Leia hates Wookiees. To be honest, Leia hates Wookiees. But
well, maybe Chewie gave her some.
Maybe Rey is Leia in Chewie's.
Hey, that's why she's got that freaking weird.
She got the 3 buns. She's got a lot of hair. The Wookiees got a lot of hair and stuff like that. You want to talk about theories? Put that as a theory. But no, I just think the emotion was running out. Like it happened in a second, and he like, oh shit, oh sorry, oh shoot, you shot Han, and he pulled his gun out, took a shot, and it missed. Well, it didn't hit him where he wanted to hit him. It still hit him. So I mean, it still hurt him. It injured him, and it was like he was injured in the fight. So. Now, why did he fire a second time? No, that's debatable.
So, a lot of Han talk here, and there are going to be some spin-offs after episode. Actually, now they're working on Rogue One. And there might be a surprise cameo by a young Han. Now, who's going to be this young Han? Because this cameo is supposed to spread out supposed to stem off into the Han Solo spin-off.
Right.
Now, the most notable, really, there's 3. There's 3 actors that are most, that are kind of famous that have been really sought after to play this role.
And none of them are Chris Pratt. Why is that?
And I wanted to tell you about it. So because he's supposed to be 24.
Okay.
Chris Pratt's 36. They ain't gonna go Ant-Man Michael Douglas on him for that. So So the 3 names.
The guy who's all about Ant-Man Michael Douglas.
Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son.
Okay.
I was thinking, make my day, Java.
Well, see, that's what. Okay. We'll talk about my thoughts on them.
Okay, so Scott Eastwood, Miles Teller from Whiplash and the awful freaking Fantastic Four, and
you can't see our director on the side. Go ahead.
And Dave Franco.
Okay, so
now. I like the Franco choice.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I really like the Franco choice, and the reason that I don't like Miles Teller, it's 2 reasons. One, he reminds me too much of Shia LaBeouf, and Shia LaBeouf played his son, Harrison Ford's son, in Indy. So
that's your callback.
So I'm not sold on that. And just don't get me wrong, Miles Teller has the acting chops. If you have not seen Whiplash, you need to go see Whiplash.
He is excellent in that movie.
But I just don't buy him as Han Solo. He does not. He has more of a. I guess he does have a smart aleck type of personality.
No, he has a personality
of Han Solo. There's just something about him that I don't see him as Han Solo. Dave Franco, he's a better actor in my opinion. They're both really good.
Than Miles Teller.
Well, I mean, I can't. He would be better fit for that particular part in my opinion because he's got comedic chops.
Okay.
And Han Solo is pretty funny, So. Yeah. I don't know. Who out of those 3?
Okay.
Which unfortunately,
I'm gonna take them all. We're gonna start with Miles Teller. No, do not sign Miles Teller because I will never say, "Oh, that's Han Solo." I'm gonna say, "Oh, that's Miles Teller. That's Miles Teller dressed up for Halloween as Han Solo." That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And it was like, "Hey, pull out his drum set." Is there a drum set on the Millennium Falcon? Because that's all I want to see. I mean. He is a great actor, and he's a great comedian. Like, what was the movie that he was in? The party movie that he was in? Was that Project 21?
I think so. I don't remember.
So, I mean, he was fun. Oh, the Project X. That's what it was. I knew it was a Project something.
Thanks, Aspen.
So our director. So Project X is was funny. It was like his character in there. He was young. Ryan Reynolds in Project X. So that's where you looked at with Miles Teller. So his timing and is there, but he's established himself as his own actor now. I mean, as his name as himself right now. So it's one of those characters where like you only see them as themselves now. You can't lose them in a character. So that's the reason why I can't do Miles Teller.
So kind of like
and he looks nothing like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, but kind of like what we were talking about. You know, you mentioned like Jennifer Lawrence looks like Jennifer Lawrence, not Mystique, because her as an actress is bigger than. In the director's eyes, I guess, or the audience. But she's bigger than Mystique. And Robert Downey Jr.
can change her face and is like whatever she wants to be. So that's how you let Mystique go, because she even did the Rebecca Romijn thing where she changed it.
Cool. Yeah. And then you got Robert Downey Jr., who didn't wear the freaking suit in Iron Man 3 at all. It was just his face, and so.
But Robert Downey Jr. was on the downside of his career.
Is that why you're saying that though? Is that why you're saying that? Because you think that he's already established that you can't.
Yes, it's like that's Miles Teller. It's like you can't lose yourself and say it's almost like where with the Mace Windu thing, that's why he never really had a huge significant part until like Attack of the Clones and stuff like that. In the prequels, is because it was always Samuel Jackson.
So why was Samuel Jackson's lightsaber purple?
Because he wanted it to be purple.
I want that purple stuff.
Oh, that's an inside joke, guys. I'm sorry, it's an inside joke. That purple. So that takes care of Miles Teller. I am not on the Miles Teller. Not on the Miles Teller train to get him to
Scott
be
Eastwood.
All right, Scott Eastwood. I actually kind of like Scott Eastwood for it because I think
but he's got blue eyes. You gonna get contacts or something?
You can do contacts.
Okay.
All right, you can do contacts. I think he's a little bigger than what Harrison Ford was at that age. So, but then again, they did the same thing in Terminator Genesis, where when they recast. God, I'm so bad with names. That guy. When they recast for Terminator Genesis, the character that they picked for him, he was a little bit larger.
Jai Courtney?
Jai Courtney, thank you. When they recast Jai Courtney, you had to think about it. Don't give me that.
Well, I just thought John McClane's son.
Yeah, but anyway. So, I mean, he's a little bit bigger, but you can still lose yourself because Scott Eastwood's not outside of the Suicide Squad movie that's going to really come up. What has really Scott Eastwood been? He's played like military characters.
The Longest Ride, or something like
I just watched a movie last night called Diablo with him in it, and which is not a good movie. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Scott Eastwood. It's not a really good movie, but he's still a small enough name that you can lose yourself and accept him as. So
you're saying it needs to be an unknown?
And I would prefer it would be an unknown, but obviously they're going for somebody who has some sort of star power. But the simple fact too, the minute he gets upset about something, when Scott Eastwood gets upset, he looks like Clint Eastwood. He looks exactly like Clint. So I'm gonna go from, oh hey, that's hot. Oh that's that's Clint Eastwood. So out of the three, we get down to Dave Franco. Dave Franco's still small enough, but when I say still small enough, he's kind of short to be Han Solo. He's kind of short to be Han Solo.
What do you think? Okay, with context and all that, like
I mean, like, they're gonna give him some platforms and kind of raise him up. They're gonna do some. They did
it for Michael J. Fox.
They're gonna do some Michael J. Fox. They're gonna do. They're gonna put him on Apple Box carts, and he's kind of short for Harrison. I mean, because Harrison Ford's kind of tall, man, and so.
What do you think about Liam Hemsworth? With context.
I'd have to see him do it. There is a movie that's out there.
I know that he's kind of deadpan. He doesn't have that much of a facial expression.
He's not the greatest actor
because Chris Hemsworth would be awesome, but he's too tall
and he's too big, and he's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
We'd be like,
it's Thor.
Thor, yeah, Thor is on the Millennium Falcon. Is he just gonna pull out the hammer and take care of this? But with that being said, if you do a Liam Hemsworth, it's what have you seen that where you see his range? What has he been in that has any type of comedic timing?
Nothing.
Where's he been in where he's been kind of like that smart ass? He's not Han Solo.
Yeah,
there's nothing that says he's.
It was just a suggestion.
I know. It's just like I said, I would like to see Dave Franco, and they are gonna really, really have to do some.
I'd like to see James Franco. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's too old. You just shot
sleeping high.
You just shot down Chris Pratt. It was Chris old, and James is too old. But
Lightspeed.
I think Dave Franco would probably be a good choice. He's kind of short. That's the only thing. So we narrow it back down. We're back to Scott Eastwood. Just don't make any mad faces because I'm gonna say Clint Eastwood the minute you do it.
Well, you know what? Whoever the case may, gets the part is gonna be, he's gonna be, especially if he's unknown, he's gonna be an overnight success. So
I say go unknown. Give us somebody we can lose ourselves in.
We would like to hear your opinions. Who do you think would be the best Han Solo?
Chris Pratt.
I don't think Chris Pratt. No.
Chris Pratt.
Shia? Since I just said this, Shia.
No.
I just wanted to see her.
There was a movie where there was a guy who played and I wish I knew the name of the movie, and I'll put it in the. I'll put text.
Okay, I love trivia. Who's in it?
I don't know the.
What's it about?
So basically, it's a movie where they show you a younger. It's with Harrison Ford and this character, and they show you a younger Harrison Ford in the character, and the guy does a dead-on impersonation of Harrison Ford. So everybody kept saying it's like, if you're going to recast, you should get him because he kind of looks like Harrison Ford, and he can do a spot-on impersonation of Harrison Ford.
If you know who that is,
but he's not in the top 5 though. So that they were talking about. I
maybe. I mean, I didn't recognize a lot of the names. So
no, all the names
that I recognize.
All the top 5 are all well-known names. So that's the only thing that's like so. And he's a small enough actor to where you can lose yourself in it, and he does a great Harrison Ford impersonation. Now, with that being said, most people say that I don't want to see a Harrison Ford impersonation. I want somebody to kind of own the role and make it their own. But Han is already established. We know what Han is. We don't want to see somebody do a different Han.
But this takes place when he's 24 years old. So
you can say he evolved into this Han?
Yeah, he has to. I mean, he's got to go through some experiences to be the way he is.
All right,
so
but then there's still some things that you're going to carry over. Do you remember when you were 24?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember when you were 24? Yeah.
My favorite year of my life, actually.
And you were saying you're nothing like when you were 24?
Right
Nothing?
now?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing like that. There's not a little bit of you back then.
Of course.
Exactly. There's a lot
like that. I mean, that was. We're completely off subject. We're talking about me here, okay? This is not Juan Solo. This is Han Solo. But anyway,
it should have been Juan Solo for this episode.
Juan Solo. So whoever you think, please leave your comments below. Let us know who you think on that. The guy that did the double for Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca will definitely be back, hopefully.
Chewbacca he's going to eventually take over the role completely. So
now this is a shocking news for me. This is one kind of took me by surprise. But the way the internet trolls have been hitting episode 7, I guess it shouldn't. But there is a petition currently right now that has that the fans, close to 3,000 fans, have signed this petition to have George Lucas come back to direct episode 9. What do you think about that?
All right, so I laugh at that petition. One, it's only 3,000 signatures. That's nothing. And it's like you can get 3,000 signatures to protest against something on the internet in a blink of an eye. Disney's gonna look at that like throw it away. They're gonna just, what is this? And they're just gonna throw it away. Now, with that being said, these are the same people that didn't want George Lucas to make another Star Wars movie to begin with.
Because
exactly. So why make a petition to bring him back when you didn't want him when you didn't want him there to begin with? Y'all watched you watched 6 George Lucas movies, but you last 3 George Lucas movies you watched, you complained about them. Mm-hmm. You complained about it. You didn't want him to have the franchise. You were happy when Disney took over it. You were happy when JJ took over it. You were happy what you got from JJ. Why on earth would we even talk about giving George Lucas back the reins to this franchise?
I don't think that he should get the reins, but in all honesty, I think that he should be involved in some capacity, whether it's an executive producer,
he tried to be
a
Disney
consultant. Yeah, that's for episode 7 because they knew that this was going to start out a new trilogy. Now,
hey George, I know we threw away all your ideas before, but you want to come back? You got something else?
I don't know. I think that he should be brought back on to end it because they're going to start a new trilogy after that. But to end it with Lucas as a consultant.
Okay, so when you listen to George, he already had ideas for episode 7 that were completely different than what they went to. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to say, hey, we threw away your ideas originally from episode 7. We want you to come at least give us some insight for episode 8 before we throw them away. For episode 8, and somehow you need to meld your ideas into what we've already done for episode 7. They've already gone on a specific path. They already know where they're going. So you can't ask somebody who wasn't involved in the first movie to somehow be involved in the second movie when you threw away his ideas to begin with, because he had an idea for it. Now you need him to work on the path that you're already on, and meld his ideas into that. It's basically, he's still making your movie and he's just reworking your ideas. It's not really his influence. It's just saying like, hey, put your name on this when we do our ideas. So right. You can't really do that. But with that being said, back to what I'm saying, I was like, that would be the most baller move. Actually, George, I kind of want you to do it. Most baller move ever.
Why?
$4 billion to buy the movie from me, and then you're gonna call me back and direct it anyway? You're gonna give me what, another $10 million to direct this movie, to give you my insight on it?
Well, the truth is they're not gonna. He's not gonna direct it. He's not gonna direct it.
They already paid him off to go away.
He should be. Now here's the thing with George Lucas directing episode 7. You're absolutely right. It would have been a completely different movie that would have catered to those that are full knowledge of everything.
He probably would have kept to the actual Legends canon,
and not this new audience. Now, yes, it does mirror. We talked about it last week. It does mirror. Episode 7 does mirror A New Hope, but that is pretty much to give the new audience an idea, plus a refresh for the existing audience, and then take it from there. Had George Lucas done it, it would have just been a continuation, and nobody would have known anything of what was going on, especially the younger people. But
if we honestly, if we would have been like, oh, we would have gotten Jason and Janisola. We would have gotten that.
Probably.
We would have gotten that. We would have known the story. So like when episode 7 came out, if George had done it, we would have known what episode 7 was about, because he would have kept to the books.
Exactly. Either way, we're looking forward to it. We're on this wave right now, and it doesn't look like it's stopping. Rogue One next year. Episode 7 right now is still going strong. Rogue One this year, actually. I'm sorry. Next year, episode 8, and then the Han Solo, and pretty soon the Boba Fett too. So looking forward to it.
I thought they were going to do the Boba Fett with the Han Solo movie. I thought they were.
Well, I think Boba Fett makes a cameo on the Han Solo movie.
I thought he was going to be like the antagonist of that movie, to where like it was going to like he's chasing Han, which makes sense. Because then it kind of helps with the whole thing. Like, why was he able to find Han so easily when he was sent out to go capture Han? It was like to show more of their relationship, and because Han was being pursued through that whole time. Han was always being pursued by bounty hunters. So why not say that Boba Fett was always
and he did know him. If you look back right at the
yeah, he knew who Boba Fett was.
The Starlight Pit, he mentions his name.
Yeah, the Boba Fett.
So we're looking forward to all these new stories that are coming up. Please leave your comments down below. Let us know, like I said, your theories, your new Hans,
please let us know
your new
theories.
Boba Fetts, everything. Let us know.
If anybody can remember who the guy's name was that's in the movie with Harrison Ford that did the Harrison Ford impression, please let me know. Put it in the comments. I'm gonna look it up anyway, but let me know so it'll help me out. Let me know.
So we can put it on the red ink. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get it right. But I'm really bad with names. I'm gonna get better with it. Just because we do no show prep. Sorry. But
speak for yourself.
You don't do show prep. But
yes, I do.
So
take it home.
All right. So with that being said, make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video. Also in the comments, let us know things that you think we should do better, things that you like, things that you didn't like. Like Manny said, let us know your picks, your fan theories, who should be Han Solo, things of that sort. Make sure you subscribe, because it'll let you know when we get new videos uploaded online, and also to become part of our fan community. So we want to cater to you, and if you're a subscriber, you can help be a part of it and let us know how we can make things better for you. I guess with that being said,
Manny?
What was my name today? My name, Darth Maury.
Darth Maury.
You are not the father.
See you next time.
Not gonna take 2 hours, but
I hope not.
Talking about that rave theory. 3 hours in.